Hypothesis. We already studied hypothesis in our hypothesis testing. So basically, it is a statement of assumption about a population that may or may not be true. Suppose I say sale of our company per month is 600 metric ton. That is a hypothetical statement. Whether it is true or can it be accepted or rejected, that can be done by doing a testing of the sale. So since I'm talking about average sale, so we are trying to find out whether the population average or the population mean is equal to 600 tons or not. For that, we draw a sample from that particular population, and depending on the sample size, whether it is large or small, we use different tests to check whether can we able to accept that particular hypothetical statement or not. So it can be tested. Hypothesis can be tested based on information obtained from a sample. So when we say it is bright outside on a specific day, like this, you see outside and you find that it is bright. And then you also say that the sun is probably up. So whatever you say, sun is probably up, that is a hypothesis. It is bright outside. It is already visible that it is outside. That is a fact. And when you say sun is probably up, that is a hypothetical statement or a hypothesis. In order to test, what we can do, we can just go out and see that yes, it is bright and the sun is also up. That means you already tested the hypothesis and you proved that you can accept whatever hypothetical statement you uttered. Next is theory. What do we mean by theory? We already saw in our previous video about facts. All those facts help us to initiate certain theories. Hence, we can say theory refers to the ordering of facts in a meaningful way. So whatever facts we gathered and we collected, we arrange that in a meaningful way to create a theory. Hence, theory is a formal idea or set of ideas that is intended to explain something. That something may be some facts or events. Means theory is a set of systematically interrelated constructs. We already spoke about constructs, concepts, definitions, propositions that explain or predict certain phenomena, that is certain facts, by specifying relationships or relations among variables. Theory provides a conceptual model for research. Means when we talk about theory, it will have all interrelated constructs, concepts, definitions would have been defined, statements would have been made. Statements here we talk about propositions, means again, it can be like a hypothetical statements that all explain about certain facts or phenomena, some events. And then it will also tell us about some relationship between different variables. Many hypotheses tested, means you might have already created certain hypothetical statements. All those hypotheses are supposed to be tested. After getting tested and you come out with some conclusions or inferences, together that becomes a theory. So we can also say theory is a scientific law. So it is a set of generalizations we make about variables and also the relationship between the variables. Means hypothesis, or you do some research on those hypotheses, come out with some new theories. Again, from the new theories, you create some new hypothesis. Again, from new hypothesis, you go back to doing a research, create further new theories, create certain new hypothesis. Means it goes like a circle. So that is about theory. Scientific law, or simply in research, you say law. So here, when we say research, when we say law, it is about scientific law. A scientific law explains how a process occurs, the way it explains, whereas theory explains why a process occurs. Scientific law is based on observations made on a controlled experimental setup. Means the researcher has got a control. He can have his own control. And in that setup only he observes, or he, based on certain observations, he creates a scientific law. Whereas theory is based on observations made on a natural setup. Scientific law must be universally acceptable, whereas theory may or may not be universally acceptable. Scientific laws are not revised as it is universally accepted. Theory can be revised based on new findings. Some of the examples for laws and theory. Law, Newton's law of gravity, that is a law. Ohm's law is also a law. Ohm's law says that your voltage is equal to current multiplied by resistance. And Newton's law of gravity, wherein this apple, once it falls, it immediately falls down due to the gravitational force. Similarly, theory, you have theory of evolution of humans, and then special relativity theory where E is equal to mc square is being proved. So these are some of the examples for law and theory.